that man loves you, even if that man is taking care of you, even no matter what, the more financially stable you are and the more economically empowered you are, the safer unfortunately you will be in this climate. But more than that, I want to tell the men that it doesn't matter hata kama umeninunulia pombe ngapi, hata kama you have bought me food for a month, even if you have done what, that does not give any man a right to touch me how he wants, to do with me what he wants. It doesn't matter whether you have 1 million and I have 2 bob. My name is Murugi Munyi. I am a content creator, an entrepreneur, a podcaster, and a woman. Yes.
So I've seen you today. Maybe you can tell us through what is happening today and why are you here today?
So today we are on the streets of Nairobi marching against femicide, which is the intentional killing of women simply because they are women, not for any other reason, just because we are women, and that is the reason for them to target us. So we are here to protest that and to make sure that the government and the institutions responsible for stopping and ending this happening do what they need to do.
Maybe the highlights of femicide in Kenya, because people are having so many conversations about it. People are saying it's being caused by a certain community. What is the main cause of femicide in Kenya?
I think the main cause of femicide in Kenya is basically just how society raises men to think that they have autonomy over women's bodies, such that when a woman gets harmed, it's because, alikuwa anavai. It's because we excuse what the perpetrator is doing. And the reality is that a man will kill a woman simply because she's a woman. It's not because she refused to give him sex. It's not because she had sex with him. It's not because she was on the streets at 3 a.m. A man can walk outside here during darkness and feel absolutely nothing. But as a woman, you can't. And what we are trying to say is we need to make society safe for women as it is for men, so that I don't feel like I will be targeted just because I'm a woman, just because a man thinks that I am weaker, just because a man thinks that, I can do what I want with her body. That's what we are saying absolutely no to. And it is not our fault for dressing how we want, for walking where we want, for associating with who we want, for having sex with who we want. That is not reason for you to kill me.
What do you think should be done now?
I think one, the courts and the police need to have extremely stringent measures for what they do with men who kill women or who abuse women in any way. We have had instances where somebody has been convicted of killing a woman or taking advantage of her, raping her, abusing her, and gets off on something so light, 2 years, 3 years in prison. That is an offense that should be life imprisonment or the death penalty, even if you ask me. We also need the government to speak out actively. I am really looking forward to seeing which Kenyan leaders are here around us to be able to protest and show us that they are part of this struggle, because the reality is that a lot of people, especially men, don't think that they are affected by the issue because maybe their mom or their sister or their daughter has not been killed, but you're all affected because every woman is a person just like you. And I hope that it doesn't happen to any of us, but we need to realize that the loss of one woman is a horrible thing for the entire country. I would love to see the president saying something about it. I would love to see the first lady saying something, Sakaja saying something, all governors saying what they are planning to do in their counties to combat the killing of women and the abuse and rape of women. That's what I want to see.
Just to mention, you've seen Nairobi Women Representative Esther Pasari is here.
Oh, fantastic, good. I wasn't intended to take a picture and pick a selfie.
Murugi, as a girl mom, probably we have seen some of the cases where men are taking advantage of ladies' economic situations, maybe to exploit them and to perpetuate these acts. Maybe what advice can you give to the young girls who are in university and who've just coming up?
So I would definitely say that because of the current climate, we do need to be careful, and I would highly advise women as much as possible, even if that man loves you, even if that man is taking care of you, even no matter what, the more financially stable you are and the more economically empowered you are, the safer unfortunately you will be in this climate. But more than that, I want to tell the men that it doesn't matter hata kama umeninunulia pombe ngapi, hata kama you have bought me food for a month, even if you have done what, that does not give any man a right to touch me how he wants, to do with me what he wants. It doesn't matter whether you have 1 million and I have 2 bob. That is not in any way it doesn't give you a free pass to a woman's body. And I need more men to acknowledge what their fellow men are doing. In fact, I need more men to tell fellow men who they see speaking a certain way about a woman. If you start seeing a guy who's just like, this is femicide things, we're talking about it in a very light way, that in itself is a red flag. Because the reality is that economic empowerment or not, even a very rich woman will be killed and raped even her in her house. A poor woman will be killed and raped in her house. So either way, is it really about the money? Is it really about the money?
We've also seen many of the cases are related to foreigners, and we have so many cases of maybe foreigners taking advantage of ladies. Maybe what advice or what can you comment about that?
I I would say that for me, okay, maybe I don't know necessarily the statistics, but what I do know is that the majority of women who are raped, abused, or killed, it's by people who they know. People who are their husbands, their ex-husbands, their boyfriends, their ex-boyfriends. They are people who are close to them, whether it's a foreigner, whether ni mzungu, whether it's somebody from your village, whether it's somebody who you met in Tao. It really is not about who the kind of person is. The reality is that society protects men. Society raises up men to believe that no matter where you are, who you are, you have power over a woman, and that's what we are trying to change. It's so unfortunate that a lot of these women are being taken advantage of by people who are closest to them. It shows you we are not safe anywhere. Whether you have money, you don't have money, you can be killed. Whether you are on the streets, whether you're in your house, whether you're in the village, whether you're in the city, we are at risk. And so women everywhere need to stand up, men everywhere need to stand up and say that this is the end of the killing of women in Kenya.
Alright, maybe what next after this? Because now if the government won't speak about this, if the government won't address this, what is next step you guys are planning to take?
My God, I have absolutely no idea at all. In fact, the people have come with us telling them, Sasa, after today, ama tuanze kufanya march every weekend. You know, should we start marching every weekend? Should we, you know, speak out about it? Because you know the reality is, right now we are marching because 9 cases of femicide were reported in January. But the reality is, I'm sure there are hundreds more out there. People in the village who maybe the media has not reported about. People, you know, somewhere in the slums who maybe they just died, their bodies were just thrown. So the 9 are the only ones that we know. But we need to be actively speaking out against it. What I would like is to see people not lose the fire. I don't want the fire to end after this. We need to see more women continuing to speak about this on our platforms. We want to see policy reform. I want to see policy reform that gives extremely stringent punishments for men who are found raping or abusing or killing women. We need to see women actively protected. We need to see men especially coming out speaking to their fellow men in terms of events, policy forums, advocacy forums, activism, so that people can see that it's not just a one-time thing. It's not just oh, we marched, we are throwing our little tantrums, sasa tumemaliza, sasa tuende home. It needs to be, this is serious and it's something we need to keep talking about.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you guys here covering this.
Anytime.